Thanks so much for joining us on Valley News Live at 6. I'm Ethan Kramer. We've dealt with some brutally cold temperatures over the past several days, and in fact, we have two first alert weather days coming up because more dangerous cold is on the way. And for more on that, here's First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams. Joseph.
Yeah, that is right. We have two first alert weather days coming up. They're mostly during the morning hours, as that's when we'll have most of that dangerous cold coming through. But even the afternoon hours will be bitterly cold. So let me show you what I mean. We have what's known as an extreme cold watch for all of our region from Sunday evening to Tuesday afternoon, as we can see wind chills in the 40s to 50s below zero. That can lead to frostbite in 10 minutes or less. Now, thankfully, we're not seeing those kinds of brutal wind chills yet, but we're still frigid with wind chill of 20 below in Jamestown, Fargo, Detroit Lakes, 15 below in Fergus Falls, 20 below in Grand Forks too. The air temperature is on either side of zero, basically, like 4 below in Langdon versus 1 above in Fargo and 5 above in Fergus Falls. And we will trend downwards in terms of those temperatures as we head into the next several hours. Aside from the bitter cold that we're tracking, there's really not much happening. We do have a weak disturbance that's bringing a few flurries out in the James River Valley, but otherwise our region's just dealing with cloudy skies, and we're going to continue staying cloudy but dry as we head into the overnight hours. The winds will also die down a bit too, so it won't be too windy overnight, but still looking at a very frigid night ahead of us and looking at those dangerously cold wind chills over the next several days. Those details coming up in your first little forecast.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joseph. Well, it's a good idea to keep that VNL weather app handy for forecasts right at your fingertips. You can download it and use it for free. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store today. New tonight on Friday, the Cass County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call of a snowmobile crash on 60th Street Northwest in Turtle Lake Township in rural Walker, Minnesota. According to Cass County Sheriff Brian Welk, upon arrival, officials learned that a 50-year-old man from Corpus Christi, Texas, was driving a snowmobile when it left the roadway and struck a snow embankment and trees along the section of the snowmobile trail where it shares the roadway with 60th Avenue Northwest. Now, medical teams responded and transported the man to Park Rapids Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Now, alcohol is suspected to be a factor in the crash, and the incident remains under investigation. Also new tonight, earlier this morning, a fire damaged a building in Horace. The building that caught fire was next to Midwest Iron Works. The fire occurred at 708 4th Street East in Horace. Parts of the building came off the top part of the structure and debris were laying on the ground. The cause of the fire is still unknown at this time. Well, the suspect in a 2020 Grand Forks murder case made his first appearance in court yesterday. 32-year-old Vincent Villarreal was arrested on December 30th of 2020 in Crookston, Minnesota for the fatal shooting of his father at the Budget Inn Express Motel. He was caught on surveillance video leaving the hotel that night. Now, but since then, he's been serving time for other charges, including criminal sexual conduct, drug possession, and assault on a corrections officer. So he's just now facing these charges. His next court appearance is set for March 24th. We are working to obtain more information after a stabbing yesterday morning at a Fargo hotel. It happened just after 6:30 a.m. at the Bison Inn along Interstate Boulevard. The victim was taken by ambulance with serious injuries. Police tell Valley News Live that 24-year-old Garrett Morin was arrested for an outstanding warrant for a probation violation. Valley News Live dug into this and discovered Morin is the same man who was arrested for attempted murder back in 2021 after a drive-by shooting in West Fargo, where a young boy was unintentionally shot inside his home. In that case, he served 90 days. We are still waiting to confirm the name of an alleged shooter after a man was shot two nights ago, while getting out of a vehicle. This happened in rural Bacchus, Minnesota. Several people who witnessed the shooting say a 47-year-old man from Hackensack was the alleged shooter. The man has been booked into the Cass County Jail. The victim was life-flighted to a Fargo hospital. Still no word on his condition. Well, it's a good idea to keep that VNL News app handy for breaking news right at your fingertips. You can download it and use it for free. Just search VNL News in the App Store today. An NDSU student competed in the ARCA 200 at Daytona International Speedway earlier today. Brenco Racing is a sponsor, held a watch party at the Buffalo Wild Wings during his race. Valley News Team's Harrison Prey caught up with members of the Brenco Racing and shows us their support.
This is kind of a dream of his.
A dream coming true. Bryce Haugberg, an NDSU student, raced in the ARCA 200 late Saturday morning, with members who are sponsoring him coming to support from home.
My wife and my family and I were going to go down to Daytona and be there. We were there last year, but so I'm like, let's just host a watch party at B-Dub. So here we are.
Brenco Racing has been sponsoring Bryce for the last few years, and they know how much this race meant to him.
This is who he is. This is what he does. He loves being out there. We love being behind him and watching him. I mean, there's an entire room filled with people here right now. I know he can feel the support, and it's just fun to watch him chase it.
While the race itself has been the main focus for Haugberg, if it's not racing a car, it's fixing one.
If he's always told me if I can't race it, I want to work on it. So, that mechanical engineering background, it's right up his alley.
It's not his first race either, and Garrett Moldy, equipment sales manager at Brenco, remembers when he watched him compete just a year ago.
I got to experience him down in Talladega when he raced down there last year, and so that's an experience. But it's a cool event that they get to do, and we're glad to be a part of it.
In Fargo, Harrison Prey,
Die-hard racers.
Valley News Live.
Bryce avoided 7 wrecks during the race and ended up finishing in 10th place. So congratulations to him. Way to go, Bryce. Well, check this out. Big news for fans of Target. According to Target's corporate webpage list, another location is headed to the area, this one in South Fargo. Now, the South Fargo location is amongst 39 other new locations set to open across the United States. Target's announcement says that the South Fargo store will be located at the northwest quadrant of I-29 and 52nd Avenue South. The store will be about 133,000 square feet in size. No word yet, though, on when the South Fargo location is set to open.
We're looking at temperatures dipping below zero once again as we head into the overnight hours, along with some strong northerly winds, which means a bitterly cold night ahead of us. But coming up, more bitter cold is on the way. We're going to go over how long that cold will last and when warmer temperatures will return, plus our First Alert weather days on Monday and Tuesday, all in your First Alert forecast.